Hello everybody. Today's July 11th, 2017. I'm going to be showing you Rogue Studio. So this program is still in beta, so it might be changed by the time you run it, but I'm going to show you the basic functionalities of it as of today. So if I open it up here, this is going to let me log in if I have a VIP membership on Rogue Labs. And right here in this bottom left is going to show the running processes. You can embed any process that you want, a game, window, you can embed Chrome, Firefox, any program. Okay, so I'm going to be embedding this one right here, which is Get Paid to Planet. Make sure there's nothing here important. No, okay. And if I double click on this right here, it'll embed it into the window. I'm going to be up here on this top corner, we have this menu. If I click Actions, these are the type of things you can make the program do. So if I click, and then drag and drop, so I'm going to drag in this area, which in this square is where the bot will click. I'm going to call this login, so it'll click this login button in a random area in that box. I can actually show you it doing that now. If I click script, run, it'll launch everything in the actions bar here. So there you go. You see this clicks over there, and then it'll go back to the top and it'll click again, and it'll keep clicking in a random location in that box until I cancel it, which I'm going to do now. I'm clicking script and cancel. And now in this bottom left, you'll see what it's doing. It says left click, and it's telling what image it's looking for. And now it's going to very soon cancel that and not say anything after 45 seconds, which we were not going to wait for. Okay, so now if I click on this username, we're going to actually wait before we do that. I'm gonna only do this if the login button is there, because sometimes you might be logged in. So on success, which means if we click the login button, we're going to actually get the text first. Well, we'll do this. We'll do wait for image. How about that? Wait for image. Username. Okay, so this is going to be wait user. Doesn't really matter what you call it. Now it's going to wait for this username to appear on the screen. Once it appears, it's going to go to the next part, which we're going to get this CAPTCHA text. So actions, get image text, and it's going to drag and drop in that area. So it'll save that to a saved text, which we can call with the type command. So now we're going to click, and we need to click this text box here. So I'm going to this username, but we don't want to click in that box. I'm going to show you how to change that. Okay, so if I right click on this after clicking on it, there'll be an edit button. And here you can choose how far to the left and upward, so X and Y coordinate you'd want to go. I'm going to have to use the tape measure though, and so I clicked around here, so I'll say over that much, which is 94. So edit, I'll say click 100 over from where that top left corner is, which is over here by the U. That's where I dragged. And I don't know, 150. And then Y, 0 should be fine. I'm going to make this say 10 though. Okay, so now it'll click in this text area. And now if I click actions, type, we're going to type in your username, password, the CAPTCHA, and then log in. I'm not going to actually type in my username or my password because I don't want it to get banned or stolen. So I'm going to use just username, but you type in your actual username. We're going to use tab. So if you type in these braces, you can type in things like control, cap locks, shift, all sorts of commands, insert, anything. So I'm going to type in tab, and then we're going to have to type in our password here. So password. And remember, inside this commands, it has to be capital in order for it to recognize that it's a command that should be doing and not typing. So after password, we're going to type in tab again. That's going to be extra password, which we don't have an extra password, or at least I don't. And tab again will bring us to the CAPTCHA image, but we want to type it into the CAPTCHA box. So tab one more time. And now we're going to type in that text we got from the found text variable, so which is saved, capital, saved text, and then enter, so enter key. And then that should log in. And then if I close this off, well, actually we should wait, because after you log in, there's actually a brief moment where it's going to be having a loading bar to display ads before we should do anything. So I'm just going to say 20 to 25 seconds. Okay, and I'll close this off. So if it successfully does that, it will then, if it successfully finds the login button, it'll click it, do all this, and then go on to the next step. If it doesn't find it within 45 seconds, it'll skip everything in here. So this wait image, found text, left click, type, and wait, and go to what's after this bracket. But if I run this, you'll see, let me go from actually the home screen first. Okay, there it goes. You can see it's clicking there. And it's going to find the text, so it says sending text to the API for API, or sending to API for text in this bottom left. It's going to use up one of your capture credits because that's a it's sending it out to an API. You can buy those on Rogue Labs. Okay, so username and password, and there you go. But that's not actually, now it's waiting. It's not actually my password and username, so I'm just going to type in my actual information and log in. And let me cancel this. And we're going to go to the next step, which is view ads. Now you don't need to run that. I just did it just to show you. Okay, I'm going to actually check, let's see, for this X, or this close button, because that might pop up sometimes. I'll say close pop-up. Alright, now after that we're gonna do actions. Actually we should put that here, because that'll only pop up when you first log in. Right click, insert, there. If you do that, you can see if I do that here, it'll do it after it, so you don't have to, because if you do it from up here, it'll put it at the last spot, which we don't want all the time. Okay, so now actions, click view ads, and let's call this view ads, make it simple. Then I'll click in that spot. After it does that, we're going to be here, so we're going to check and see if an ad is displayed. So click. You have to click this text, but since every text is different, it's not going to be able to detect that. So we're going to detect this earn button, which will stay the same for every ad. We're going to call this ad. And then we have to scoot it up a bit. So let's see, use my tape measure again. And from this E to this middle of the text up there is 143 pixels away. So right click this, edit, negative 143 to say, I don't know, negative 140. Oh, not 430. This might need to be changed because I might not have it exact, but we'll tell when we actually run it. And this Y, since it's over to the right, I can move that. Say negative 10 to 15 is fine. Actually, shoot, sorry, that's X and Y. I'm going to have to change those. So we want it to go up, not over. So 10 and negative, or sorry, 10 and negative 10 should be good. Okay. And that should click this text box. So if it succeeds, because we're going to check for fail and succeed, so on success, we're going to have it wait, because this bar right here, I'll say 10 to 15 seconds. It's also going to wait a little bit for this image, but this image can time out after 45 seconds, so I added just a little bit of extra wait just to be sure. Let's call this add, or CAPTCHA found. Okay, so now we're going to have it send it to an API for a person to click. So if I click CAPTCHA coordinates, or coordinate CAPTCHA click, I'm going to drag and drop here, and say click the upside down pic. Or not pic, I'll say image. Okay. Which would be this Firefox Linux person. Okay, so if I click that, it's gonna wait a little bit, so I'll say for this check mark to come up, I'll say 3 to 5 seconds. And then we're gonna close the ad, or close this tab because it opened it up in a separate tab. As you can see, it's 1 and 2. I'm gonna see type, and you can do the command browser, has to be capital, close, I click close tab. Okay, and that'll close the tab. It'll only work in Chrome, unfortunately. And then after we close the tab, we're going to wait just a little bit. I'll say 1 to 3 seconds. And now we're going to check if it fails. So if it fails to find this image, we want it to scroll down a little bit. So actions, we'll say type, need to do unfail. So unfail, type, and the page down key. So I'll send the page down key. And now we're going to close this off. So we got on success and on fail closed off. And that should work. I'm trying to think what else you would possibly need. I don't think you would need anything. So let's just run this. Run. Alright, it's going to start from the top. Because we're logged in, it's going to skip everything after it times out here. It's going to fail. You'll see it'll select what it's doing here in this actions box, and it'll tell you also on the bottom. I have a lot of CAPTCHA credits because I just make my number. I don't actually have to buy them because I'm the owner. Okay, so here we go. And there we are. It's going to go to the view ads. And here we go. Now it's going to click on an ad. Oh, it looks like we're off a little bit. Like I said, we might be, so cancel that. And I'm going to edit this because it didn't click quite where I wanted it to. I'll say, looks like it's pretty high up there. I'll say 140 to 135. Or I'll say even 137 to be sure. Now let's try that again. Sorry about that. Just gotta wait for it to go one more time. "45 seconds takes a while when you're recording a video. So after this, I'm going to show you how to quickly share the files if you wanted. If you wanted to share this script with other people on Rogue Labs, you're more than welcome to. Okay, so now it's going to click the View Ads button here, which it should find. There we go. And now it's going to click an ad. There it goes. It's going to wait. So here it's waiting 10 to 15 seconds. Let's just scroll down here to see what else it has to do. And after it waits a little bit, it's going to wait for the CAPTCHA found, which is that click the upside down image text. So I'll wait for that. And there it is. Okay. So in a little bit it'll detect that, and then it'll do, here we go, it's sending that to the API for someone to click, which will be the, there you go, and click that. Now it's waiting a little bit, and it's gonna close the tab. There we go. Wait a little bit longer, and here we are back at the top. And it's just gonna keep cycling through this, and eventually, actually after this next ad, which I'll let it go one more time, it will click this NeoBucks ad, and it's not going to see these bottom ads because that earn image right here is actually not displayed because it's covered up. So it's going to scroll down. I'll show you it doing that. Okay, so click that. Let's click in the ad. As you can tell, this is pretty easy to use. Anybody should be able to use it. If you can come up with any ideas or anything, post it on Rogue Labs. I'll be sure to check it out. Might take me a couple days because I'm usually busy coding, since I'm the only one that does all the work. Okay, here we go. It's gonna send it one more time. But it'd be nice to have feedback from other users as well, besides just me. Okay. I hope you guys find this really useful. It took me a long time. I've been spending almost every day for the past week working on getting this thing as professional as possible and glitch-free for everybody to use. The first beta was not that great, but it was usable, and this one should be a lot more robust. Okay, so I should send it to the next person to click, which will never run out. It'll always find someone. It might take a little bit, but it will. Oh, they weren't clicking in the right spot. Look at that. That could happen sometimes. It clicks everywhere that the user clicked. So, okay. Now we'll see it's 99% of the time, by the way, it'll be an actual person that solved it correctly. Sometimes people solve things incorrectly and it just annoys you. Okay, so now it's going to click the view ads again, but it's not going to find an ad, so it'll click the page down key on your keyboard automatically. And then it'll look again for an ad. Okay, so here we go, view ads. And it should find one. It'll keep doing this until it reaches all the way to the bottom. And if you wanted, you can edit it to refresh the page after a certain amount of time. Say you waited a while, you can do quite a bit. There's more commands here. You can make it where you can make it continue to check something until it finally succeeds, or you can check something until it fails. Say you got a CAPTCHA and it wasn't solving the CAPTCHA correctly. You can make it keep trying to solve it until it solves it correctly using that. You can wait for image. You can use an existing image just by typing in the image's name. You don't want to type the extension. So like if something's like login.png, which saves all files as PNG, you would just type in login. If you right click down here, I showed you the insert. There's also the remove and edit. Most things have an edit button. If it doesn't, you can always double click here and just edit it that way. Alright, here we go. So I'll click the view ads. And it's going to scroll down here in a second because it's not going to find an ad. Well, not a second, 45 seconds. Sorry, this video is so long. It's quite a bit. I want to make sure everybody, gets the idea of how this program works completely and all the features it offers at this moment. Okay. Eventually, I'd like it to be able to set your own timeout. It'll probably be in the next release. So if you wanted something to wait the full 45 seconds or even longer, you can edit that. Right, so there it goes. It's now gonna eventually, it's gonna check for the login. It's not gonna find that. It's gonna skip all this. It's gonna check for view ads. It's not gonna find that. It's gonna check for ads. It's gonna find that. It's gonna click it, and then there we go again. It's gonna keep doing all that. It's gonna go back here. Keep scrolling until it does all the ads. Okay, so now we're gonna cancel this since we know it works, and we can actually save it. So I'm gonna save this file as ClickSense, or no, it's not ClickSense. This is Get Paid to Planet. You can call it whatever you want. I'm just going to call it that. Say video tutorial. Okay, so now that I close that, if I open this file up here, it'll be saved right in here. So there's an open notepad. It has all the commands. And it also has the image you used here. So you need to share these images that you have in your text file and the script text when you share it online. You can just literally just do this. Randy script. And then I can literally just copy paste. Then I can embed there, sorry, not embed this, zip this. And then if someone wanted to use this, they can just go in here, drag and drop, and it would add your script. Okay, so it's that easy. If I close out of this, which I will, it'll take the window out before it closes, and it'll save your script under here. So when you relaunch it, it'll load the script you had last, which is this one. But say I just got that script from someone online, I can click actions, or actually, sorry, clear actions, clear all these, and here we go. So now it's empty. So let's say I never made that script. I just downloaded it from someone. If I click script, load, what was the script name again? Here we go. I'm just going to edit, rename that. If I type in the name here, so it'll load it up. Now if I launch that, embed that, I can run it again, and it'll run just like I created it. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoy this program. Hope this tutorial is helpful, and hope you have a good day. Thank you.